It seems impossible that monkeys, the most mischievous and curious of animals, could have inspired the old saying, "See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil." But it turns out that those three monkeys who sit so quietly in a row are meant to be a very special kind, the Japanese snow monkey. Now, these elusive and gentle creatures survive in the harshest, coldest climate any monkey has ever adapted to, the windswept mountains and ravines of northern Japan. In the wild, they are shy and retiring, but in modern Japan, very little wilderness remains. And as man encroaches and the forests are cut, the Japanese monkey has to prove just how smart a monkey can be. It has to watch out for all the evils that men do. It has to keep its ears and eyes wide open in order to survive. The Shimokita Peninsula of northern Japan. Winter lasts 6 months here. Just to survive it is an achievement for the snow monkey. As the cold winds blow, they huddle together. Their thick fur is their only shelter from the storm. The search for food is constant. But in midwinter, twigs and bark are all that's left to eat. A little hard to chew, especially for the young. The forest never provided much of anything, but it was always enough. Now the monkey's forest home is shrinking. It's being cut down by man. Even this weathered veteran of 20 hard winters won't be able to shake food out of the trees for much longer. But few Japanese monkeys still live the untouched, wild life of the Shimokita. Because man is everywhere, even skiing down remote mountaintops that used to belong to the monkeys. But the snow monkeys are resourceful, and they're intelligent. They've learned how easy it is to take advantage of the new situation. The once elusive snow monkey is becoming as visible and opportunistic as the bears of North America's garbage dumps. Feeding them is a Japanese national pastime. Almost 10% of the country's monkeys are now considered tame. They rely on man for food, begged, borrowed, or stolen. For some, winter is not so much of a struggle now, but human generosity has its drawbacks. Those who would have died in the wild, like this crippled male, now live to take their lumps from the younger, stronger members of the monkey troop. The winters on Shiga Heights in central Japan are almost as harsh as those on the peninsula farther north. But the lifestyle of the local monkeys is light years away. A few years ago, the nearby villagers took to feeding monkeys at the edge of this hot spring, hoping to attract tourists to their spa. Well, it wasn't long before the snow monkeys were up to their ears in hot water. The villagers say it started one day when a baby monkey slipped and fell into the pool. Now, even the troop leader enjoys himself in his own dignified way. Others were more adventurous, and soon the monkeys had taught themselves to dive and swim. Unlimited hot water is a joy for these monkeys, who are especially careful about their grooming. Now the villagers have a spa for monkeys. not people. But the troop is so tame now that the occasional human luxury seeker can climb right in with them. And the tourists do come. In overpopulated Japan, there are few chances to get close to a wild animal. And these snow monkeys are more than willing to get close to a delighted tourist, especially one with apples to share. In fact, they stand in line to demand their share. You'd think they'd catch their death of cold, but thanks to those hearty meals conned from their visitors, the monkeys retain their full layers of insulating fat. Winter is now almost a holiday, not a life and death ordeal. Even with a resort at your disposal, the coming of spring is always a relief. The spa monkeys retreat deep into the remaining forest reserves to enjoy the season of plenty. Spring is the season of birth and renewal. And these lively one-month-olds are already able to try a few Tarzan tricks. But one young female has just given birth, all on her own, hidden away from the other mothers. She is a hanger-on at the fringes of the troop, at the bottom of the social ladder. Obviously, she's also a first-time mother. None of the other females has bothered to teach her to sever her baby's umbilical cord. She cradles the placenta as tenderly as if it were her offspring's twin. Her little one will have a rough time of it. Already the young sons of the dominant females are well on the way to establishing which of the new generation will have the most clout. The troop leader decides it's time to leave. Everyone obediently follows him. The females organizing their youngsters for the trek to a new feeding ground. Baby monkeys have a strong grip. Almost from the moment they are born, they have to be able to hold on tight to mama. She is the baby's lifeline and teacher. The father plays no part in family life. The low-ranking mother waits for the dominant females to move off. All the older babies cling securely to their mother's backs. Some even manage to ride side saddle. She begins to follow, carrying her newborn. But something is wrong with him, drastically wrong. She desperately wants to keep her place with the troop, but she can't travel far. Her baby is too weak. She doesn't want to be left behind, but the baby is her responsibility. She is alone with a problem she can't handle. The tiny newborn monkey has been dealt a nasty trick of fate. Not only is his mother young and inexperienced, but she's on the bottom rung of the social ladder. In monkey society, there are the haves and the have-nots. Had the baby been born to a high-ranking female, its chances of survival would have been good. But there is no silver spoon for this one. In the well-ordered world of the Japanese monkey, social position is sometimes a matter of life and death. The troop leader won't travel far. just to another resting place in their small territory. Never before has the lowly female been left so completely alone. The baby is too feeble to nurse. His mother can only wait with him for whatever will happen. Nothing has prepared her for death. She tries to get him to respond. She even grooms him gently. Confused, she tries to leave him. But that doesn't seem right either. She returns to the body, unsure of what to do. The troop is moving farther away. But still, she stays. Until there is no point anymore. It's better for her to be with her kind than alone in the forest with a baby who no longer needs anything. Life in the protected forest reserves has lost its appeal for other groups of Japanese monkeys. The foraging is much better in farmers' pumpkin patches. The monkeys harvest the crop as efficiently as farm workers, except they eat it all as they go along. These semi-wild troops have learned to make themselves at home in man's world, maybe a little too much so for human comfort. If people cut down their trees, well, they'll just climb houses instead. The tables have certainly turned. This old woman used to carry food to the monkeys. Now, they play practical jokes on her. You give a youngster an inch, and he'll go right into the kitchen and take a potato. Noisemakers don't scare him anymore. The netting keeps him out all right, but he still gets up to some monkey business. The snow monkey is one of Japan's official national treasures, but some Japanese now have a sort of love-hate relationship with them. Still, the tourists flock in the thousands to monkey reserves like this one near Tokyo. Feeding time is a mob scene. Under human care, the population of the troop has exploded, and while there is still order in this apparent chaos, the monkeys are noisier and more aggressive than they ever were in the wild. The other side effects of this reserve are accidental. The monkeys here were fed fruit and vegetables contaminated by pesticides, something their keepers only discovered when alarming birth defects occurred. Now, the monkey's food is carefully washed. Somehow, even here, the troop leaders maintain control. Oh, there are fights and bullying, but always within limits. Researchers at Osaka University have carried on isolation experiments to find out why Japanese monkeys can control their tempers and lead such well-ordered lives. No one knew whether their social rules were instinctual or whether they were learned. Here, monkeys were isolated from each other from birth. The researchers even wore fencing masks at feeding time so that the babies would never see a friendly face. Females, having given birth behind bars, were separated from their newborns in a matter of minutes. This harsh experiment produced a surprising answer. The Japanese monkey's amazing self-control is entirely learned. Far to the south, away from the crowded reserves, another group of Japanese monkeys lives in solitary splendor. This little fellow is looking across the strait at Monkey Paradise, Koshima Island. Winter never touches this island, and these snow monkeys live the lives of beach bums. Only 10 monkeys survived here after World War II. They were named and studied and fed. Every detail of their behavior was recorded, from rare events like this to their over-enthusiastic grooming habits. The monkeys have not been fed for over a decade. But now Mrs. Hatsumito, their guardian, and a group of scientists will feed them once again to see how much they remember of their old ways. All of them know food when they see it. Although this youngster would rather steal an unwary scientist's lunch than dine on sweet potatoes. 10 years ago, all the monkeys washed their sweet potatoes in the sea before eating them. Now, only the older ones remember that clean food tastes better, especially with a little sea salt on it. At first, the youngsters simply stuffed their food pouches full, dirt and all. But monkey see, monkey do. When the high-ranking males and females set the style, almost everyone follows. But on Koshima Island, the Japanese monkey's fabled learning skills go beyond mere survival. Protected by man, each new generation of island monkeys is free, above all, to learn how to enjoy life. Life is a game of tag, a joyous leap into the sea. It's a friendly, jostling, sociable existence. The Koshima Island monkeys are lucky, but in a way, no more lucky than the snow monkeys of the north. People helped them all at crucial moments. And what people didn't offer, the monkeys learned to take. They're intelligent, adaptable, almost unbeatable survivors of the new wilderness. Some Japanese regret the change that has come over the revered snow monkey. One zoologist used to hike for miles in the mountains just to get a glimpse of them. But the last time he went up, an aggressive trio of big males stopped him in his tracks and threatened him until he gave them just what they wanted, a big bar of chocolate he had hidden in his pack. For him, the snow monkey has changed so much. It's as if a whole species had disappeared. But what has really happened is that a species has survived, smart enough and adaptable enough to move into man's world and take a share of it. A few snow monkeys are spoiled, too tame for their own good, but the vast majority are alive and thriving, constantly inventing fascinating and ingenious new ways to survive in the new wilderness.